How's it? Today we are learning HTML, Hypertext Markup Language. What is HTML? Well, if you go to websites, they're made up of images, text, but they're all coded. If you go to any web page on the internet and you control click on the page, you can also go to View Page Source, and in View Page Source you'll see all the different code that goes into making that web page. And so, like, here's our lists and things like that, and it's really fun. There are different platforms that you can develop websites, but basic sites. We're going to start with some CSS and HTML programming, which is a great skill to learn. So we're going to create a little hobby site with little links to your hobby, a little banner with just creative site to show and express some things that you like. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and open up Text Wrangler. Okay, that's if you don't have Text Wrangler, you could use just a notepad. But let's go ahead and every tag, okay, all web pages start with a tag. So if I go open bracket and then HTML, okay, all websites start with this tag. Now you're basically telling the computer we're going to start an HTML document right here. So then we're going to go into head, open tag head. We're going to say in the head of my document, in the head document, you notice on websites it'll say here like Nintendo official, or at the top of web pages it'll say the title. So that's what we're making right now. In this case, it's the right here, photography. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So we got the head, and now we're going to use title for our title. Open tag, and you can't misspell. If you misspell title, it won't work. Okay, if you put a space, that won't work. So you have to be thorough. You have to be OCD. Then you're gonna have your title, so maybe your name, and then your hobby. So we'll go back here and check. Your name, and then put the hobby that you want to work with. So if it's photography, okay, you can do it like so. And then what you'll do is go in here, close your title, okay, and you're gonna close your head. Now that basically made sure that everything was in the top of your document. Now before we save our document, we're going to go ahead and go to your Google Drive folder in your class folder and create a new folder called HTML. Okay, so and in HTML you're going to create a document or another folder, okay, Command Shift N, and it's going to be called images, and we're going to be saving our file right in there. So go up here and go to File and Export or Save As, and then go ahead and place it right in that folder that we just made. So we're going to go to Desktop and save it in, not in images, but I think I did. Yep. So I'm going to put it right there. So we should have index and images. Okay. And now for our next, so we can open that then after we save it, see how that looks, and notice it works. So on the top, your name, photography. Now that we have our title information, we're ready to do the body of the page of what you'll see on the page. So we're going to start with a title. Now H1 is your biggest title, okay? H2 is smaller, 3, 4, and H5 is your smallest. We're going to go with the big title, H1, and we're going to align it. So we're going to do H1, align, equals, and then center. Now align right, left, those both work, but in this case we're going to do center, and we're going to choose a creative title for your hobby. I'm going to use taking time to capture time for photography. And we're going to close. You always have to close your tag. So we're done with our heading one. So we're going to close H1. And we're going to hit Command S. And we're going to go back to our web page and refresh. And then it should work for our page. Okay. Now it's time to make our banner. Okay, our banner is going to be at the top of our page, like so. So we're going to use Google to help us with this. So let's go ahead and type in Google, let's say guitar. Okay, if guitar is our hobby. And then we're going to go to images. And in our images, we're going to go to search tools. And first of all, we want large sizes. So we're going to hit large, and then it will filter only the large ones. Then I'm going to go up and choose color. I like the black. You could use black and white, or just choose a color here, black. You could choose blue, green, whatever you want. Type. If you want more of the clip art styles, you can do that, or you can choose the photo. And there's also more tools, usage rights, things like that. So you could do like usage rights labeled for non-commercial reuse, which is us. We're like non-commercial, so we can use that. So these images are free to use, and then I can go ahead and choose one. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this image, and I'm going to go ahead and click on view image so we can get a large view of that. And then we're going to go ahead and hit Command Shift 4, and you can also zoom in if you want to or not. It's up to you. And then hit Command Shift 4, and I'm going to be taking a screenshot. Not like this isn't a banner. I want to take a more of a narrower banner. So maybe something like that. And I'm going to go back to my folder, and I'm going to take that screenshot that I just took. I'm going to drag that into my images folder. Okay, and now I'm going to name it. Okay, so go ahead and name it a description of what it is. So you can put guitar. Now, if you have, if you do capitalize it, remember that it does have to be capitalized. So it's up to you in terms of what you want to change it. Although I wouldn't mess with that. I would just keep it lowercase so that way you don't make any mistakes later on. So notice that it's in the images folder. So we're going to go up to our HTML. And we're going to go in here to our body, and it's going to be right above our title. So we're going to hit enter, and the tag for our image file is img space src equals, that's image source, and then it's going to be the location of where it's at. Now the location is inside the images folder, so we're going to put images and then /, and then we named it guitar dot, and it wasn't a JPEG, it was a PNG file. And then close it. And for images, we're just inserting an image, so we don't have to close tag that. But whenever we're doing formatting, like H1 align, you do have to format something like that, or if it's a section. So I'm going to hit Command S, and then I'm going to go back to my page and refresh. And we should see it here. Now if it's too big, notice it's way too big. So you may want to resize that image for us. So resizing is pretty easy. So we can put width equals, then you can put it's like 650, and height equals maybe 3, let's go smaller, 200, 450. So notice that it's really too small. So I have to play with that, get it the size that I want it to. I may want to screenshot it even narrower, but you basically want it to fill, you know, this size of the computer according to what you prefer. Now what we need to do is center our image. To center our image, we're going to use the P align. So P align equals center. Hit Command S, and don't forget we have to always close it, so we can close our P right here because it is a attribute. And now we should get it aligned. Now if your image doesn't show up, okay, you need to do some troubleshooting to make sure it works. What I do for troubleshooting, I first just put in something like 1, 2, 3, 4, Command S, go back to my page, because let's say in our file, let's say it's guitar, and let's say you like put a space here by mistake and you didn't even know. And by the way, for the image, we're going to use an alternate image, which can be very helpful if the image isn't there. So we're going to put in the image source at the end here, alt equals, and put a description of what it is. So I could put guitar, but don't do the exact same thing as this. So I could put like black guitar, Command S, okay, and then come in here, and if I refresh it, so if the image doesn't work, it'll say what it's supposed to be, and that's black guitar. And notice, and again, it doesn't work because there was a space missing here. So you need to go back and make sure, you know, it's like this matches correctly, this name matches exactly correctly to this name. You want to make sure there's no extra spaces in here. Sometimes if something doesn't work, I'll just delete the whole line of text and just retype it, just in case I misspelled something, I didn't realize it the first time. I'll have a friend check it. If it doesn't work, you can, I sometimes just close that and go back to here and just open up index again to make sure I'm using the correct web page, because maybe I accidentally made a copy and I'm working off of 2 copies and I didn't realize it. And then once you do some tests, you know, to make sure you're on the right page, you should be good to go. So when you're done here, you can close your body. I'm all done with my HTML document. I can close my HTML, and then you can go ahead and save that in Text Wrangler. And next time, if you want to open up that file, you can just, you know, control click on your thing, open with, and choose Text Wrangler or Text Edit, but use Text Wrangler if you have it.
Hope you enjoyed learning
HTML.
Yeah!